Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are talking about the latest studio album from Pallbearer entitled Mind Burns Alive. This is the fifth full-length studio album from this American doom metal band hailing from Little Rock, Arkansas. I like them a lot. They're probably one of the most popular, successful, noteworthy bands to pop out of the 2010s modern doom metal scene, one of the best alongside Chemists. But whereas Chemists are going into more like epic, triumphant, heavy metal, doom metal territory, doomed heavy metal as they call it, Pallbearer is more introspective, more evocative, more mournful. There's a lot more emotion and catharsis, a lot of lumbering, elongated passages, passionate, multi-layered vocal hooks and howls. Records like Sorrow and Extinction and Foundations of Burden are at this point considered classics of the doom metal genre, some of the best, but personally, my favorite has always been 2017's Heartless, which saw Pallbearer drawing heavy influence from progressive rock and from classic rock. And those influences and those tones and those ideas combined with their already extremely emotional and introspective take on doom metal just made for a very revealing and powerful record. Like, to this day, Heartless is not just my favorite album from Pallbearer. It's not just one of the best albums that was released in 2017. I would make an argument for it being one of the best doom metal albums ever written, produced, performed, and released. Like, if we were to review that album here today, it would honestly maybe get a 5 out of 5. At bare minimum, an insanely, stupidly enthusiastic 4.5 out of 5. 2020's Forgotten Days was a great record as well, and I feel like there was an added level of like urgency and sadness to that record because of the circumstances in which it was released, you know, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, kind of benefiting from shared feelings of isolation and trauma and anguish and pain. With all of this in mind, my expectations for Mind Burns Alive were already pretty sky high and somehow flew even higher once I got the promo copy for this, once I started doing a little bit of research. With vocalist and guitarist Brett Campbell writing, these songs are a deeper exploration of dynamics and sonic color than anything we've done up to this point. I'm of the belief that true heaviness comes from emotional weight, and sometimes sheer bludgeoning isn't the right approach to get a feeling across. With bassist and vocalist Joseph D. Rowland adding on, describing the album as an exploration of fate when you are deceived by your own instincts and internal voice. And right off the bat, I want to say all of my sky-high expectations have not only been met, but in some cases exceeded. I'm not sure if I think this is a better album than Heartless, but at bare minimum, it's probably on the same level. Like, the quality of the production and of the music and the way that this album like grabs you and connects with you, the emotions that it conveys, the tones and the themes and the colors, the way that it morphs and shape shifts and implements different sounds and textures and ideas into something that is fluid and cohesive and immediate and beautiful. This is just an absolutely stunning record. Pallbearer have never been an especially technical or complex band musically speaking, but this, more so than anything else they've done since at least the debut, is their most simplistic album to date. They've really stripped down their whole sound here, relying on very minimalistic chords and passages and dynamics. It's a record that is musically as vulnerable as it is lyrically and conceptually. Back in 2020, a lot of major outlets and publications like Metal Hammer said that Forgotten Days was doom metal's answer to the Black Album. Today I'm going to make an argument that this is doom metal's answer to an album like Wish You Were Here. You've got the opening number, Where the Light Fades, which does a great job at feeling really warm and really cold at the same time. Like, you have these really beautiful, colorful synth arrangements and simplistic guitar chords and some amazing vocals, a lot of soul, a lot of heart, a lot of emotion. And the song just kind of like wraps its arms around you in like a really loving, warming embrace. But also, it's a bittersweet embrace. There's a lot of pain and agony here. It's like getting a hug from a loved one, but like you haven't seen them in a long time, and now you finally are seeing them again, and it's not the family barbecue, it's someone's funeral. Love the use of like rustic, semi-psychedelic acoustic guitars. Love the very simplistic but very powerful synth work here. I love some of the doomy draws here. There is some heavy doomy guitar work here. And when it does pop up, it creates such a heavy contrast and it has so much emotional weight to it that it just kind of like really cements the mood. The title track, Mind Burns Alive, builds on this momentum wisely with trudging, bellowing, lumbering, doomy riffs. Like, these riffs sound like the slog and endless toil of life itself, you know? Like, it's such a fucking downer. And on top of that, you have these crooning vocals that are kind of timid, kind of subdued, you know? But I do like that throughout the track, you know, the vocals are getting a little louder, a little bit more confident as well. And it all leads to maybe one of the best guitar solos I've heard on any album so far in 2024. It doesn't necessarily have a lot of style or flash to it. Like, it doesn't have whammy bars and like finger taps or like any insane shredding. It's not like some fucking Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Tosin Abasi type shit, you know? It's not even like ripping, raging, classic rock, heavy metal kind of guitar solo shit like something from fucking like, I don't know, Judas Priest or AC/DC or whatever the fuck. It's just a really good, tasteful solo packed with emotion and intensity, building on the melodies already present in the song. Love the build on the climb of Daybreak as well. Like, it feels like a really long, depressing night, and you're finally seeing the sun rise, and it just fills you with inspiration and life and fire, you know? Like, it's easily the most stripped down cut on the record for quite some time. Very minimalistic, very simplistic acoustic guitar parts, very timid, quiet vocal parts. Before then eventually blossoming, dare I say exploding into like this epic, somber doom metal ballad. And in nearly classic Pallbearer fashion, in a move that combines the best elements of Sorrow and Extinction and Foundations of Burden, and also Heartless, you have these 10.5-minute mammoth cuts with Disease and Endless Place, filled with dark, towering, lumbering, cathartic, slow-paced doom metal and inspired melodic guitar leads and licks and some great vocal dynamics, incredible clean vocals, multi-layered vocal assaults, creating a really like powerful, consuming feel. Endless Place even goes as far as to throw some saxophone into the mix, and I'm one of those people that firmly always believes that saxophone just makes everything objectively a little more awesome, but specifically the use of saxophone here just takes this to the next level. Like, you have these beautiful, brassy, soulful tones clashing with this like heavy, doomy, murky guitar work. Really powerful stuff, man. I didn't shed a tear, but it wouldn't shock me to hear that someone else had. Remarkably, too, with so many of these songs being so long, and with this album being so emotionally dense and powerful as it is, at no point is it overwhelming, and also it wraps up in pretty decent time, clocking in at 50 minutes. And there's no fat, no filler to speak of, no duds, no dull moments. I love this record. This is one of the best albums of 2024. And I'm feeling a 4.5 out of 5 on this. I think it's incredible. If you love Pallbearer, you're gonna love this album. Definitely check it out. If you're looking for darker, more epic tones and riffs and bombast from your doom metal, then maybe this won't do it for you, and that's okay. I get it, but honestly, check it out regardless, just because it is so good. And honestly, also, if you don't know Pallbearer, if you don't know doom metal, if you don't listen to much metal at all, I think I would actually still recommend this to you. Because it just is that good and that strong and that emotional and impactful. 4.5 out of 5, truly an incredible record. Musically, lyrically, conceptually vulnerable and intimate and powerful and striking, and it's incredible and I love it. I'm repeating myself. That means it's time to wrap things up. Yeah, just go check it out. One of the best albums of the year. I promise you. I fucking promise you on that. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I'm not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? Why do you not like this record? What the fuck is wrong with you? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. Look, there's even more videos here. That's so crazy. How did they do that? How did they get there? Bye-bye. Have a fantastic fucking day.